Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday out there as we're coming down the home stretch of the month of March. Has been March Madness. Has your bracket been busted? Mine has already. But the team I picked to go all the way is still in it. But as a team, I actually picked the Florida Gators. I thought they've been playing really well toward the end of the regular season. I watched them play during the regular season and was pretty impressed with them. So that was the team that I had picked to go all the way. But still March Madness, 16 teams remain, Sweet 16. Good to be here with you. Tuesday, March 25th. And already talking about severe weather again. A little bit of a preview here, and you may have read the description of how there's the potential for severe weather. There's some things we know already, but then there are some things that we don't know. There are still some questions here. Live chat is open, by the way. If you guys want to say hi, you can on the live chat. And I don't have all the answers yet. Things are still murky. There is still some territory that we have yet to cover here in terms of, getting some more information. But when you think back to a couple of weeks ago, you look back to, a couple of Fridays ago and early Saturday morning, and how I said how March can be like a roaring lion, as March is like the gateway to when we start to see more active weather, more severe weather, how it's on the rise. And we're not even at the peak, the climax of severe weather season yet. Well, it looks like the end of March could be like a roaring lion once again, could be. And I also want to say that every severe weather event, every severe weather outbreak, they are not all the same. Not all the same at all. What do I mean by that? Well, some severe weather events, you're going to have the primary threat being damaging straight line winds. Some of it could be large hail, and then the wind would be the secondary threat. So there's always, every severe weather event is different. And so we're going to go over here what the National Weather Service, the Storm Prediction Center, has released here. Is we're going to go ahead and go to their site. All this information, by the way, you can access. And I'm going to show you what this entails here for Sunday. So as we look here at the severe weather outlook, and again, this is for Sunday, already a 15% chance when you look at pretty much a good chunk of the nation. And I know it's kind of hard to read there for the small text, and I apologize, but toward the bottom of your screen, just right above the overlay that I have, you will notice the 15%. That is 393,000 square miles, an area population of just north of 40 million, 40.6 million people within that yellow. Some of the larger population centers in the area: Indianapolis, Columbus, Ohio, Memphis, Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, Little Rock, Arkansas. I know it's not listed, but I'm throwing it out there. St. Louis, Missouri, Jackson, Mississippi, Birmingham, Alabama, Frankfort, Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky, us here in Southern Illinois. So this, out of all the years I have seen severe weather outlooks by the Storm Prediction Center, and this was released yesterday, Monday, Sunday, I first saw it. I had never seen anything like this ever. I never have. Now, the one thing that we have to keep in mind about this is for Sunday. This is just days away. And for something like this, yeah, it definitely catches your eye. But also at the same time, we have to remind ourselves it's very fluid. It's a very fluid outlook here, as a lot could change. If you recall from a couple of weeks ago, it kind of reminds me when I first saw this, it reminded me of what happened a couple of weeks ago where we were underneath the 15% chance and then it got bumped up to 30%. Now, so far, I've not heard that indication. However, though, we're going to go ahead and dive into some information, below this map. But I want to go and tell you that this is something at this point I would definitely have my eyes open for any future updates on this. And I know that the National Weather Service in Paducah is keeping an eye on it. Any of the National Weather Service offices within the yellow or close to the yellow, they are keeping an eye on this. And as this week goes on, we will see more updates and more information being released. There have been some additional details being released, so it's not like we're totally in the dark here with this map of the 15%. But again, I want to tell you that a severe weather area depicted in the data of day 4 to 8 period indicates 50%, 30%, or higher probability for severe storms within 25 miles of any point. So again, still very fluid, but it is something to keep an eye on. Again, this is for Sunday. Again, Sunday, March 30th. As we scroll down here, and I'll read this here for you. And let me go ahead here. I want to see if I can actually make this be to where you guys can be able to see this a little bit better. And if not, that's fine. I'll read it here, and I was going to read it anyway. So, but it says here, and this is as of now from the Storm Prediction Center out of Norman, Oklahoma. But this is what they said here. The primary severe risk appears likely to evolve Sunday/day 6 from Missouri, Arkansas, northern Louisiana, spreading eastward through the day and eventually approaching the west slopes of the Appalachians as the western U.S. upper trough emerges into the plains, supporting deepening of surface low pressure. A moist, warm sector will destabilize through the day, likely yielding storm development initially west of the Mississippi Valley and then spreading eastward through the evening. The favorable thermodynamic environment will combine with strong veering flow through the middle troposphere, suggesting of severe storms including supercells and attendant. All hazards, severe potential. So, I know it was kind of a really, and some of it, you understand, and I know that some of it that you may be kind of maybe a little bit confused by. So this is what I have here. I simplified it here for you. So a significant severe weather threat is again possible for Sunday, mainly affecting Missouri, Arkansas, northern Louisiana, then moving eastward toward the Appalachian Mountains. A strong weather system from the western U.S. will move into the plains, causing low pressure to develop. This will bring warm, moist air, creating unstable conditions that could lead to storms forming west of the Mississippi River before spreading east in the evening. With the right combination of atmospheric conditions, these storms could be severe, potentially including supercells with threats of tornadoes, damaging winds, and large hail. So all hazards are in place Sunday. And again, it all depends on, do we have enough juice? Do we have the energy? Do we have the instability? Will there be a cap where severe weather may not develop at all? And there's a lot of questions here regarding this. But again, let me roll this up here. That way you guys can see it. So we get 15% chance of severe weather. So in the meantime, I would say this. Again, something to be aware about, but it's still very fluid. There's still some details, but at least we know the timing of this a little bit. At least we know that just based off of the information I've read to you from the Storm Prediction Center, it looks like it's going to be at least during the day on Sunday and into the evening hours perhaps. So this is something that we're going to have to keep our eyes on. And I talked about at the start of the stream how every severe weather outbreak is different. It affects different areas. There's different factors, different threats. In this case here, so far, all hazards are in play at this time, But rest assured though that there's still some more information out there. There's going to be some more information released, some more details. But the reason why I'm doing this is because I want you guys to be aware of what has been trending today, what's been trending yesterday, and this is something that, again, something just to keep an eye on for now. So we will see more details emerge about this. I plan on doing another live stream for you whenever we get some more details on this. But I know I've been following some meteorologists in these areas that are shaded in yellow. I've been keeping an eye on the Storm Prediction Center along with the National Weather Service in Paducah as well, along with the other offices. They are aware of this. But again, I would say for Sunday, though, definitely a day to keep in mind about. So there are some details, again, as I mentioned, but there are some details that um, sorry about that. I just saw a message here. But I want to say that there are some details that that I feel like we still don't know about. But again, all hazards are in play. So, but anyway, I apologize for not having, a lot of information here for you. There are still some questions I have myself regarding this. But again, when it comes to things like this, and I going back to what I said earlier, I have seen severe weather outlooks, 15%, 30%. I've seen them over the years. I have never seen an outlook like this, and I'll pull it back up here for you again. I've never seen an outlook like this where, you're calling this about nearly a week out and you have, a 15% chance of severe weather, and given this large area, again, over 393,000 square miles. The population within the 15%, 40.6 million. I have not seen this that large in years. So this is definitely some kind of rare air a little bit. Now there was actually for day 5. I didn't show day 5 because there was nothing yet with the potential being low, but there was actually a chance of severe storms to the west, like in Missouri, and that was for Saturday. I take that back, for Saturday. And it actually, let me see if I can pull that up here for a brief moment. I want to see if it was there maybe. Potential too low. So they originally had it, I know it's going to maybe kind of hard to see the cursor, but they had it like for Kansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, a little bit of Arkansas. But then they changed it. So now it's day 6, and then day 7, it goes to the Carolinas and the Southeast. But obviously Sunday is the day to keep an eye on. So, but we'll see. We'll see what happens here and as the week continues on. So those are the details I have for you at this time. Again, just be ready, be weather aware about the potential for strong, severe storms on Sunday. More details will emerge. Very fluid situation. And again, all weather threats so far are on the table at this time. So hail, damaging winds, tornadoes, still on the table. The potential for supercells. If you recall, we had that line of storms a couple of weeks ago, and it looks like, again, supercells, so far anyway, looks to be a threat. And we have seen supercells merge into a line in the past. So that's also on the table. So anyway, guys, hey, thanks very much for tuning in to this live stream. I know it's short. I know I don't have much information to give to you, but I do want to say that I thank you guys for the support so far with the live streams. I've been approached by, multiple people over the days, and going back to what happened a couple of weeks ago, and just, by being out and about, whether it be at work, whether it be at the grocery store, just being out and about and having people stop me and say they appreciate the coverage. And I'm thankful for you guys. I'm thankful for the support and encouragement I've received by doing this. Friday, and I think I forgot to set this for public on the Facebook page, on my personal Facebook page. So my bad on that. That's probably why I'm not getting nearly as many views. But anyway, but I'll set the public here. You guys could share it. I plan on doing another live stream later on this week when we have more details and we'll have a more localized approach to it. So just keep it on my Facebook page for weather updates and information that I see from Storm Prediction Center, National Weather Service, and all that. In the meantime, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap it up here. And so have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday and the days ahead here over the course of this week. Again, be weather aware. And like I said, it's always good to be weather aware this time of year. We saw a severe weather outbreak a couple of weeks ago. And looks like we have one possibly in store for this Sunday. So spread the word about it, by the way, to inform your friends and family to keep it on the radars, keep it on the skies. Also, spread the word. If there's a severe weather Sunday, I'll be here. So anyway, have a wonderful rest of your night, guys. Stay safe.